Hi there, I'm Sybil. I'll be your agent today. Come on back. How's your day going so far? Great, glad to hear it. In here, please. Have a seat for me right here. There you go. Can I get you anything? Water? Coffee? Okay, just let me know then. Sorry for the wait, it's that time of year, you know? Busy. And we're a little understaffed today. A few of our agents are down with some new plague. I'm not even sure what's going around right now. But don't worry, I'm sure you'll be perfectly fine. Of course, nothing to worry about. Now, did you fill out the paperwork in the waiting room? Thank you. Let me just look this over. Name, address, email, birth date, yada yada. All looks good. Thank you for writing legibly. You'd be surprised. Some people, it's like they're writing with their feet. And then I feel bad for not being able to read it. Okay, emergency contact, got it. Zodiac signs of various cultures. Oh, you were born in the year of the ox. That's interesting. Hang on, you forgot this section here. No worries, I can do it for you. It's just the preferences section for this visit. All you need to tell me is what you're here for. I mean, like, which department? You know, plans and predictions, communication with the dead, arcana non grata, that's like curse removal and related issues. Okay, that's what most people are here for, especially at this time of year, but you never know. Important to check. Are you looking at plans and predictions just for 2023 or beyond? I mean, we usually suggest you limit it to a year at a time. Any further out and things start to get a little muddy. It's sort of like weather predictions, you know? More than 3 days out, there's a lot of guesswork involved. Okay, good. 1 year, most specifically the first half of it. Got it. Have you consulted a seer within the past 3 months? Okay. Are you a practicing member of any religious faith? Got it. Have you been excommunicated from any religious faith? Okay, good to know. Do you have any tattoos, piercings, or other body alterations? Well, anything that might interfere with a reading? Then no, probably not. Are you on any medications that alter your psychological state? That includes anything that causes drowsiness. Okay, thank you. Are you currently under the care of a therapist or other mental health professional? I don't need to know any diagnosis or anything, just yes or no. Got it. Have you ever experienced any of the following? Lucid dreaming? Astral projection? Deja vu? Blackouts or lost time? Teleportation? Telekinesis? Telepathy? Transubstantiation? Light as a feather, stiff as a board? Stigmata? Alien abduction? Communication with animals? Communication with elements? Communication with other people? Or deja vu? Alright, I think that's just about it. Wait, no insurance information. Do you have insurance that might cover this service? It depends. Health coverage is sometimes a lot broader than just a broken arm or an appendix. Since we do sometimes touch on health information and ways to improve your health going forward, we sometimes fall under the non-traditional umbrella for health plans, and some of the cost of your visit might be reimbursed. Seriously, some plans are surprisingly wide in scope. Some even cover chiropractic care after all. It's truly interesting what you can get coverage for. Okie dokie, signed, dated, that's done. Let me set this aside for filing. I need to get on that, got a lot of filing today. Okay, you ready? Have you ever visited us before? Ever done one of these at all? Well, in that case, let me talk you through it. Plans and predictions is a department that focuses on a somewhat soft science. This sort of thing is never exact, so keep that in mind right out of the gate. We can't give you lottery numbers or tell you your exact date of death or anything like that. The future is a very fluid thing, very easily influenced by little ripples. But that said, we can get a glimpse of what's ahead. People come here wanting a little insight into how the next year is going to play out for them. So what we do is somewhat unique. Well, we combine traditional divination techniques with personal growth guidance. We help people get to the bottom of what they'd like to see happen. We help them set goals and make plans to achieve them, and we use the divination to get a general idea of how things will work out, what directions to focus on, that sort of thing. Does that make sense? Think of me as a combination fortune teller and life coach. How's that? Okay, good. Couple things to bear in mind. I use traditional techniques, but nothing too messy. I don't read entrails or anything like that. That's gross and ruins my office. Also, I tend to avoid the techniques that are, shall we say, questionable at best. Well, for example, cheese divination used to be a thing. And don't get me wrong, I love cheese, but I don't use it to predict the future. Even Artemidorus said that method was pretty sus. He didn't like dice either though, so whatever. I like dice. I also like candle wax and water. I like cards. I like palms. I like reading tea leaves. There are quite a few methods I'm comfortable with actually, so you're in good hands. Exactly. The only other thing you need to do is keep an open mind and be willing to evaluate yourself as much as anything else. Improvement starts with you. I can put some lights on a path, but you need to walk it. Does that make sense? Okay, then I think I'm ready to start. How about you? Good. Just get comfortable. Let me know if you need anything. And of course, we can stop any time if you're uncomfortable or you need a break. Okay then. First, are there any particular areas that you'd like me to focus on? Work, health, love, family, friendships, success, that sort of thing. If you can't decide, I can keep it general. That will touch on all those things. Would you like to do that? Works for me. How about I start with your palm? Excellent. Just rest your hand here, please. Relax. Take a few deep breaths. Close your eyes if you want to. I'm going to do my best to keep it a very soothing vibe in here, very chill. That's it, very good. Let's see. It looks like this past year has brought a lot of change for you. Not all of it in a good way. Yeah, I see that. It's like sand shifting under your feet. And when things are unstable like that, it's hard to feel good about anything. It's hard to feel safe or secure in your choices when things are unsteady. I know. You've had some loss this year too. That hasn't helped. Have you been a bit sick off and on too? Nothing too serious it looks like, but serious enough to be annoying. I'm sorry about that. I do see a lot of dedication, a lot of determination. You're not afraid to work hard. You're not afraid to take chances most of the time. But it's tough when there's not as much direction, or when the direction keeps changing. You're like a ship without a rudder sometimes, and the seas are stormy. Does that sound about right? I get that. You're not alone, but it can really feel that way sometimes. Even in a crowded room if no one takes the time to understand you, which can reinforce that adrift feeling even more. You really have been going through it. I totally get why there's a lack of trust in other people and in yourself. I get why your instinct is to withdraw lately instead of reaching out. I absolutely understand. Okay, so I see a few things for the future, but before we get into that, I want to ask you some questions. What is it that you want? For 2023, what do you want? If you were making New Year's resolutions, let's say, or just a pie-in-the-sky wish list, what would you want 2023 to be like? What sounds ideal to you? Okay, interesting. Right, got it. Let me ask you this. Do you ever make New Year's resolutions? No, I get that. You strike me as a goal setter. You strike me as someone with a whiteboard in their shower just in case inspiration strikes, to be honest. But that's not what I asked. I know you set goals, and that's a good thing. But do you set them specifically around the new year? Do you make plans according to the changing of the calendar? I'll be honest, I'm a little on the fence about New Year's resolutions. On the one hand, they can cause issues. People often resolve to do a lot more than they can actually do, or they try to do too much too fast. Losing weight, making more money, taking on a bunch of new hobbies, whatever. They bite off too much, burn out, and quit. That's a tale as old as time. But, that said, I do support goal making, and I do think the turn of the year is a good reminder to do it. Holidays, milestones, they serve to slow us down, give us room to pause. If it wasn't for a new year flipping over, time would just run together. We'd be less inclined to stop, look around, and reassess where we are and where we want to be. Breaks are needed for that. The new year has all the trappings of a new start, a new chance. So if we can see it as an opportunity, instead of an obligation, there's potential. If we can use the new year as a chance to make some plans, maybe make some lists, set some things in motion, but not be in too much of a hurry, it can work. Sometimes I recommend to clients that they don't set actual resolutions until the start of February. Like, they can set them at the new year, but consider them soft for the first month. See how things shake out, how difficult some goals turn out to be, and then cement the plans after a few weeks of trial run. I've seen more success with people actually sticking to their resolutions when they do it that way. In your case, I think either works. You're driven, sometimes too much so. You're not likely to give up, even when you probably should. You're an introvert, I can tell that much. But that doesn't hold you back from achieving. Oh, but look here, see this? Phone anxiety. I feel you on that. Okay then, I think I'm done with your palm. I'll tell you in a minute, I'm just gathering information right now. Let me get this. Yep, sticking to the traditional at the moment. Here, shuffle these. A little more. Good. Let me take a turn. Okay, choose 3 cards, please. Any 3 cards. Thank you. Let's see. I'm seeing a lot of the same things. A bumpy road behind you, and a few bumps still to come. A lot of tiredness. Are you not sleeping well? I'm sure you've tried a lot of things to help that, right? Yeah, I figured. Might be more psychological than physical. You said you're between therapists. Maybe it's time to go looking. Find someone you can talk to comfortably. Certainly wouldn't hurt. Oh, I'm a big fan of therapy. I think most people could benefit from being able to open up and be vulnerable to someone who's trained to listen and ask the right questions. Okay, So regarding your love life, lots of ups and downs there too. Whether you're currently in a relationship or not, it hasn't been easy. Not that it always will be, but you get me. And you have trust issues. Which is okay, lots of people do, myself included. It can be very tempting to wall ourselves off if we've been hurt a few times. And you also struggle to communicate your feelings, it looks like, which I guess ties into the trust issues. If you aren't entirely trusting of someone, it can be really hard to share with them. But that's a blueprint for failure in the end. If you go into a relationship of any kind expecting that you can't really be yourself, or you can't really share or grow or open up, it can't work. Doomed from the start. Which is why relationships are a leap of faith. It's not a leap that's easy to make. Yeah, so let's put a pin in that for now. I think I want to do a little wax and water. You okay with that? Good. Hang on. Here we go. Let me light this. Okay. As the candle melts, the wax drips into the water, and I can see things in the patterns of the wax. Again, nothing super concrete, but it helps paint a picture. That, plus the feelings I'm getting, the general impressions, the vibe from you, all of it factors into the whole experience. And that helps us make some predictions and a few plans for the coming year. You are definitely having a hard time with the work-life balance. Yeah, you are. That's pretty clear. You need to remember that working longer hours or pushing yourself harder isn't usually good for productivity. Breaks and downtime are pretty important. Do you know someone whose name starts with R? I'm seeing an R, and it's pretty significant. Okay, well, file that away in your mind, I guess. This looks like you might have a health scare in the coming year. Nothing huge, but enough to shake you up a bit. Does anything run in your family? That might be it, might not be. Just don't neglect your health. Get regular checkups, advocate for yourself, the whole deal. Listen, sweetness, you are entirely within yourself. You're the only person that you will be around your whole life, through thick and thin. You need to look after yourself as though you're looking after a friend, which I know is easier said than done, but still. Do you have a pet? I'm seeing a pet. You might be getting one this year. Okay, yeah, some of the same issues are coming up as before. Trust, balance, sleep, self-care, vulnerability. I hate to sound like a broken record, but yeah. So let's talk about how to turn some of these predictions into a path for your resolutions. Well, let's break it down. Consider the career resolution you mentioned. There's a lot more to career growth than just working harder or putting in longer hours. This is where that work-life balance actually matters. You can't grow in one area if you're neglecting others. The same with sleep. If you don't get a handle on your sleep, you can't become the best and most productive version of yourself. See, you're getting it. The road to success with this goal lies in addressing the road bumps, not just barreling through and burning yourself out. You have to take the time to see what's in your way and handle it. Make sense? Again, easier said than done. I can see bits of your future, but you have to put in the work to create the future you want and the future you need. I can't just wave a wand and make that happen for you, much as I might want to. Okay, what about one of your other resolutions? Say, the relationship one. How would you make a path for that? Okay, that's a good start. Yeah, that dovetails with it too. Very good. Absolutely. I knew you were smart. It's fun because as we're talking and you're starting to connect some dots for yourself, the wax in the bowl is changing. You're changing your future in little bits here and there. Keep doing it and you'll be able to craft exactly the future you want. Okay, maybe not exactly. You can't control what other people do or say. You can't control a lot of things, actually. But you can control you. Your actions, your perspective. You can make certain things priorities and focus on self-improvement without letting yourself fall to exhaustion. You can find a therapist you like and work on things like sleep and self-worth. You can start allowing for the possibility that the people in your life who care about you really do care. And you can start opening up to them more. All of these are little shifts that can make a big difference. None of this is a sprint, remember, it's a marathon. Small things, small tweaks in how you see the world and how you see yourself. That's how change is made, like a million drops of water carving out a canyon. Slow, steady, and effective as hell. You get me? Good. Glad we understand each other. Now, you sure you don't want something to drink? Okay then. If you're game, I can delve a little deeper, see what else is waiting for you in 2023. And then we can work up a very detailed, very comprehensive plan to get you where you want to go. You ready for that? Settle in then. We're gonna be here a while. Hey sweetness. If you like what you hear, don't forget to click subscribe so you can hear more. Also check me out over on Twitch. And if you want to support me, Patreon. Thanks for listening.